In our 2024 lead, just 26 days until Election Day. Many of you probably already voting. CNN is reporting a record-breaking haul for the Kamala Harris campaign, which has raised $1 billion with a B dollars since the vice president entered the race officially just in July. Despite all that cash, Democrats are far from celebrating. Instead, there's a lot of hand-wringing. New Quinnipiac polls in 3 blue wall states show Harris and Trump still deadlocked in a tight race with no clear leader. In the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Harris is slightly ahead of Trump, 49% to 46% within the margin of error. In Michigan, it's the former president who holds the edge over Harris. Trump also narrowly leads Harris in battleground Wisconsin. All of those states, all of those polls within the margin of error, indicating it's basically a tie. Here now to discuss our political panel, we have talked a lot about how both campaigns have been trying to appeal to white men. One Democrat is concerned there isn't being enough done by the Harris campaign to win over black male voters, specifically in Michigan. Jamal Simmons, who we all know, he's a panelist quite often, a former communications director for Vice President Harris. He told Politico, quote, "I am worried about turnout in Detroit. Do they have the machine to turn people out? There are concerns, and they're not insignificant." Karen?
Yeah.
Are you concerned?
Of course I am. Always. I'm always nervous at this point in an election. I'll also point out that Jamal is from Detroit, so he does know the area quite well. Look, the polls are all over the place. We've seen the data showing that she is a little bit behind the Joe Biden 2020 coalition in a number of places with black voters. So, yeah, look, she's trying to do something that has never been done in 100 days and trying to maximize every minute of every day in communicating with voters. I hope, and I'm glad she's going to do a town hall with CNN. I think it's really important to do as much as you can going directly to voters. I would love to see her do more going directly to talk to black men and Latino men, and let's have it out and let them, talk to her about what their concerns are and make sure that they see themselves in the policy conversation that we're having.
She did do a town hall today with Univision that's going to air this evening. But are you surprised that she's not doing like 5 events a day, like barnstorming? There's only 26 days. Barnstorming every battleground state, 3 or 4 events a day. Forget the interview thing, okay? I realize I'm biased as a reporter. I want interviews.
Or local news,
but the local news interviews, town halls, it just seems like it doesn't feel like October with the schedules I'm looking at for both of them. But I kind of think he has the edge right now.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. I
forget the edge thing, but what about how active? What about how active the campaign is?
I think they're being very active. And look, she also has her day job. We did just have a tremendous storm come through Florida. She was here in Washington to help deal with that to some degree. But I think you're going to see that activity kick up over the next several weeks, as it should, by the way.
So, Ramesh, I'm not the only one who thinks this. New York Times columnist Charles Blow says the Harris campaign needs more unscripted moments, and, quote, Harris has to come down from the rally podiums for more personal interactions with individual voters. She's obviously doing the CNN town hall. It's going to be October 23rd. But what do you think?
I think it's a very controlled and cautious campaign. And at a certain point, you wonder whether does the campaign not trust Harris enough to comport herself well in these interactions? Does she herself not trust herself at this point? Is she too worried that some mistake or gaffe is going to happen?
Wait, she just did, a little bit over an hour with Howard Stern. She just did the Call Your Daddy podcast. She just did, late night.
Hard-hitting news program.
Not the point. Donald Trump just did a podcast with some folks sitting around talking about whatever. The point is, they know just as well as we know. Voters now decide where they get their information, when they get their information, and through what channel. And you do need to be everywhere and have conversations with people who aren't watching hard news.
You can make the argument. You can make the argument that her early success in her rollout, the convention, and then the debate,
which was we should note, pretty phenomenally successful.
Pretty phenomenal,
yeah.
And I absolutely, and that's exactly the point I'm making. You can make the case that part of her caution comes from the fact that she was cautious and she had this phenomenal rollout. And now they're mired right now in these poll numbers, and they don't seem to be able to figure out the way out.
So she was asked about running the shortest presidential campaign in modern history by Stephen Colbert. Yeah. This is a couple nights ago. We didn't run any of this yesterday because we were all in hurricane coverage. Here is some of what she said.
There's a lot of catching up to do. My opponent, the former president, has been running since 2020. And...
literally filed like the day after the election.
So we have a lot of time to make up for.
So there is a fierce urgency, but I guess just, and yes, she's increased her appearances with Colbert, and I'm not begrudging any of that.
Yeah.
Look, people are
Well, they were, so I'm just.
3 billion media outlets, and yeah,
Somehow
Donald
Trump
Trump
gets
does
to do a podcast,
YouTube.
but
no,
she
no, they
ahead.
should go wherever both of them
Yeah.
should go wherever there are ears and eyes. Absolutely.
Yep.
But is she doing enough of it? Is my question.
No, I don't think she's doing enough of it. And I think she does need these, going back to your original question, she does need these unscripted moments because the American people know who Donald Trump is. They don't know who Vice President Harris is. And she needs to interact, whether it be local news, whether it be a debate, which isn't going to happen again, the town hall.
Because
all of
Trump
these
won't
things.
do it.
He
said he wouldn't do a debate.
She needs
That's
to
not on
then,
her.
Yeah, but it is on her and her campaign to then create the moments in order to introduce
She's
herself
doing the
to the
town hall.
American people.
She is. We should note she's bringing out some heavy hitters. Former President Obama is going to stump for her in Pittsburgh. Former President Clinton's going to hit the trail this weekend, starting in Georgia.
Yeah, surrogates bring momentum, and attention, but they don't bring what the American people are looking for. They don't give. They can vouch for her, but the American people want to know who she is.
And nobody
so
needs to hear more from Trump to form an opinion of him. There still are some voters who are forming their opinions on Harris.
Absolutely.
But we are having an asymmetrical conversation here, right? Because we're talking about what she needs to be doing. We're not talking about him. We're not talking about the fact that he literally put lives in danger of people
But that's
in the
because
Southeast.
people do know what they think about him, and they don't know.
Doesn't
I mean,
mean
that's
we
the
shouldn't
reason
be talking
why.
about him. Doesn't
But
mean we
on this
shouldn't be talking
particular
about
issue,
the.
So let's run this.
We're talking about
So let me just run. So last night in an event in Pennsylvania, Trump continued to push these attacks against the federal response to Hurricane Helene. A lot of these are just completely false. Let's run that clip.
Families desperately tried to escape the rising floodwaters, and they climbed onto roofs. They did anything they can to live, but Kamala didn't send any helicopters to rescue them. And when people sent helicopters, they turned them back. It was disgraceful what they did. So she didn't send anything or anyone at all. Days passed, no help as men, women, and children drowned.
I mean, there's so many lies packed into that clip. I don't even know what to say.
Trump is obviously willing to repeat anything he's heard without doing any due diligence on whether it's true, particularly if it allows him to slam his opponents. He's always been like this.
All right, happy?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thanks to all of you.